Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to add infusible ink to these sequins stockings and Christmas tree. You can find these at the Dollar Tree. So for just $1, I would snag some if you find them. They just turn out super cute and you can personalize these however you like, which I think is super cool. If you enjoy this video, I would love it if you gave it a thumbs up and definitely consider subscribing if you are new to my channel. The tree can switch from green to gold and the stocking can switch from red to silver. My daughter loves playing with these, so I am making the stocking one for her. First, I'll show you how I got my designs in Cricut Design Space. I'm going to start with the red stocking first, and for this one, I'm just going to add my daughter's name onto it. I think what I like the most about these is being able to personalize them any way you like. So I am going to click on my text, and the font I'm going to use is Autumn and November. I've been loving this font. I feel like I've been using this for everything. I downloaded it from dafont.com, and it's a free download if you are looking for it. So I'm just going to type in my daughter's name, Quinn. Then I'm just going to change the color to red because I'm going to be using red infusible ink. To figure out the size, I just took a measuring tape and measured the width of the stocking, and I decided I'm going to make it 3 inches. The next one's going to be the Christmas tree, and I found an SVG for that. So I'm going to go to my uploads. Then I'll click on my uploads. I found this, I believe it was from Etsy. I can link it down below if you're looking for the same SVG. So I'll just double click on the SVG one and I'll hit upload. I actually decided I'm going to use black infusible ink for it, and we'll see how that turns out. So I'm just going to keep the color like that. Now I'm going to go up to my width, and I decided on 4.25 for the width. As you can see over here, there's like a million layers. So what I'm going to do is attach it so it doesn't show up all jumbled up when you click on the Make It screen. Then I'll just click Make It. I'm using my Cricut Maker 3, so I have an option to do matless cutting with Smart Vinyl, but I'm using infusible ink, so I am going to select without a mat. With the infusible ink sheets, you'll want to mirror your design, so I'm just going to select mirror and go down and select mirror for this one as well. Then I'll go over to continue. I'll go over to browse all material and select infusible ink. It's saying it's not compatible, and I was confused for a second. It's because I selected without a mat, and I meant to select with a mat. So I'm going to edit this, and actually I'm going to hit cancel and go back. So I'm going to switch it to on a mat. And then I'll go to this one and switch it to on a mat also. Now I can go back to continue, and I'll select infusible ink, transfer sheets for my setting. Then I'll hit done, and I'll show you how I cut this out on the Cricut machine. You'll want to place the infusible ink pattern side up. This looks brown, but once it's heated, it will turn black. I also have quite a few smudges on this because it is an older transfer sheet that I didn't put back in the box, but I think it'll still work fine. I like to use my brayer tool to press the sheet down since the oil from your fingers can cause smudges also, so I don't have to worry about that with the brayer tool. Then I load my mat into the Cricut machine and it'll cut out the design. You can use infusible ink with any of the Cricut machines. The easiest way to remove the transfer sheet is to bend the mat backwards. It's so much easier than trying to rip the paper off the mat. Then I just cut around the design, and I'll save the rest of the transfer sheet for another project. Next, I add my red one. I'm using a scrap sheet here, and you can see once I place it on the mat, there's a lot of bubbles in it. All you have to do though is run your brayer tool over it if you have one, and it'll flatten it really well. Here, I'm just weeding out the negative space of the transfer sheets. Infusible ink transfer sheets can be such a pain to weed. I'm sure if you have weeded it in the past, you know that it can be kind of difficult. I feel like it has to be cut just right for it to weed well. But I sped it up here so it looks like I did it quickly, but it was a slower process than this. I set my Cricut Easy Press to 360 degrees at 120 minutes. I just went off of the most common setting on their Cricut heat guide. If you're using a heat press, then you can use 400 degrees at 50 seconds. I think that would work well for these. With infusible ink, you'll need butcher paper. The transfer sheet comes with some, but I have been making sublimation projects, so I used all of mine up, so I bought this big roll on Amazon. I decided to flip the sequins to the silver side for this one. That way when you flip it, you can reveal the name. You'll want to make sure that you have all of the sequins facing the correct way. You don't want a red one flipped over. Then I grab my lint roller and run it over the stocking. With infusible ink, you'll always want to use a lint roller to help the ink adhere well. I place my butcher paper on top and preheat using my Easy Press for just a few seconds. After that, I add my design on top. This didn't stick down very well, so I added heat resistant tape on all of the sides just to make sure that it stayed completely flat. Then I place the butcher paper back on top and I set my Cricut Easy Press on top of that. Then I press the green button and let the timer count down. I let it cool down a little bit, then I take off the tape. The tape was a little tricky to take off because it's pretty sticky. You want to make sure you pull it off the way that the sequins are going, if that makes sense. It just makes it a little easier. Then I pull off the transfer sheet, and for some reason I'm always amazed by infusible ink, how it turns out, and I think it just turned out super cute. Here's how it looks when you reveal the name. I just know my daughter's gonna love this. We'll probably put it in her bedroom since we decorated a little bit in her room for Christmas this year. Next, I'm going to do the Christmas tree one. Here, I'm just using the lint roller over it again. And this time, instead, I'm going to put it on like the top sequence part instead of having it be revealed. I add my butcher paper on top and preheat with my Cricut Easy Press. Then I add my design on top. I would have liked this to be a little bit longer so it fit the length of the Christmas tree, but if I did that, the width would be too big, so we'll just have to work like this. On the corners here by the M and the C for Merry Christmas, it wasn't laying completely flat, so I ended up cutting a slit in the transfer sheet, and then I did this on the other side as well by the Y. That way I had a little bit more wiggle room to press it down flatter. Next, I add my heat resistant tape and I go a little crazy with the tape, but I've had projects in the past where I didn't get it taped down very well, and with infusible ink or sublimation even, it's really picky where if it's not all the way down, then it just won't transfer and it ruins the whole project. I put the butcher paper on top and press down with my Cricut Easy Press. I also want to mention that I leave my Easy Press in place. I don't slide it around on top at all. Here I'm just removing all of that tape that I added, and then I'll pull off the transfer sheet. Once again, this is absolutely my favorite part, is revealing how it turned out, and I think this just turned out really pretty also. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you find these at the Dollar Tree. They also have a star one as well that I'm going to be adding sublimation to, and I'll have a video for that coming really soon. And once again, I would love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new here.